NBA Draft Player Scouting Report Series. This is the Cam Christie rendition. I am stunned we couldn't get Carter Elliott to do this one after his dealings with the Christie family. Honestly, a big miss on our part. In his place is Riley Davis. We are doing a bunch of these. We're doing 75 total leading up to the NBA draft. If you want to watch them all, they're rolling out 5 per day on the Sleepers Media YouTube channel. Before we get to our categories, Riley, give me just a general overview of who you believe Cam Christie, the player, is.
So I'm enamored with Cam Christie's game. I'm enamored with his upside. His shot is gorgeous, especially when he's coming off of pin downs, coming off of flares. Like his movement shooting, I think should translate immediately. Can get to a little one dribble pull up, 2 dribbles, good feel, decent passer. Defense is questionable at times. I'd say it's a mixed bag, but I believe in the tools. And I do think it's worth noting that his brother Max became a plus defender for the Lakers since being in that organization. So I think the upside is there. Love Cam's game. Sorry.
Upside's most definitely there. Yeah, yeah, yeah. There's a lot here. It warrants noting. Max was a good college player that sort of fell from grace within his program's fan base because they thought there was a really good chance they'd get a second year from him. And he kind of left for the draft, even though he wasn't like a lottery pick or anything. And I don't want to say on bad terms because he's been back around the program. He still sports Michigan State stuff, but like there was talk that the Christie family was not happy with the way Max was utilized, even though Max like led the team in shot attempts and got a lot of freedom to do whatever he wants. Cam at one point was being recruited by Michigan State, but when that fell apart, it was like, okay, Cam's not really much of anything. Why would we want another Max Christie? He ends up at Minnesota, where like from the moment he stepped on the floor for Minnesota as a freshman, he was better than Max Christie. It literally looked like you're watching Max Christie, but like all the shots went in a way that Max has never went in. He has a really smooth game. Just like his brother, when it's working, it's really fun. It's really fluid. And I think there's a lot to like both offensively and defensively here. So let's get to our categories. We're going to start with one word to describe Cam Christie.
My word is Cain. It's a biblical reference,
Is
Greg.
this a Cain and Abel?
It is Cain and Abel, where the not to get morbid, but Cain kills Abel. I don't think Cam is actually going to do that to Max, but symbolically speaking, this is the better brother. You mentioned it. It's like Max if all the shots went in. I think he has star potential. This is maybe going to be my hottest take when we get to our best case scenario NBA players, but I am very in on Cam.
Man, it's good to hear. I can't believe you just Cain enabled me 5 seconds into this video. It's impressive. I should expect that. I thought I was gonna have the best like evolution based answer here. I didn't. Yours puts mine to sleep, but I said Ivysaur for the Pokemon users out there.
Ah,
A good old fashioned Bulbasaur build that you start with, and then Bulbasaur becomes Ivysaur. That's what I feel like Cam Christie is. He's not a Venusaur. Don't get me, he's not fully finished yet, but he is definitely a step further than the raw Bulbasaur that was Max Christie. And there's a lot to like, and you can believe he can still grow as well. Floor or ceiling, which one is Cam Christie more likely to hit in the NBA?
probably not surprising. I think he's more likely to hit a ceiling. Where are
I'm
you
right
at with
there
it?
with you. Yeah, I look, I think there is a world where it doesn't work, and I think right now Max is trending towards that world. Like he's just a bench guy. Cam could be a bench guy as well, but there is a lot to like here. There's a lot more potential and a lot more to believe in that we've seen from Cam in a year than I think we did from his brother. Best team fit. This is an interesting one because I feel like Cam could go anywhere in this draft. He could go like late lottery. I wouldn't be stunned. He could go all the way late in the first round, early second round. I don't know. You have your pick of the litter. What team would be good for Cam Christie?
Yeah, so our consensus board has him 24th, and so I was looking right in that range. I think he'd fit really well with the Milwaukee Bucks. And if you survey that roster, Dame is getting up there in age, Chris Middleton is getting up there in age. Maybe if everything breaks right, Giannis gets his number 2. In worst case, it's like Pat Connaughton, except a hopefully a better version.
Number two, as in like goodbye Chris Middleton, goodbye Damian Lillard. Number
As
two?
in once those guys age out, they are gonna be walking with canes eventually. We're not speaking of Kane. We're not too far away from that. I love both of them. I've been a longtime Dame Lillard fan, but like they're both what, late 30s now?
So you're
Mid to
telling
late
me
30s?
soon they're going to be walking with canes, and Giannis is going to be walking with Cain and
And
Abel?
they will probably be going viral, going to Canes and getting some sort of Caniac combo, like when Giannis did his whole chicken mini thing after they won the NBA championship.
Hey, the chicken mini slap, okay? Don't hate on Giannis for that. I said the Knicks. I just envision Cam Christie playing off of Jalen Brunson in a way that those role players have. DiVincenzo and Josh Hart have honestly had a job made very easy for them. OG Anunoby comes in and kind of just like cerebrally finds the cracks. I think Cam Christie could do that. He could space the floor. He could get into his one dribble pull ups. He could get to the rim. He could finish. Like he needs, I think, someone to play off of, like you said, a Giannis or a Jalen Brunson. But to me, the Knicks are a team where they still need a little more from their role players. Like if you watch the playoff games, they needed Josh Hart to go get them like 15 rebounds a
Mm-hmm.
game. I think Cam Christie's scoring abilities would help ease the load, and maybe you don't need 40 from Jalen Brunson every single playoff game. Peak year stats. What does the very best season of Cam Christie's career look like?
I think he averages 18 a game, gives you 4 boards, 4 assists, shoots 41% from three. That's a little ambitious. I'm gonna say I'll bump it down to 39%.
I'm actually really close here. The only thing I'll push back on, I don't see him as an assist guy at all in the league.
Yeah, that's fair.
He might have shown a little bit of it. It was hard to see because Elijah Hawkins was such a assist merchant or
Mm-hmm.
assist merchant for Minnesota. But I had 18 points a game, 6 rebounds, 40% from three. We're right in the same ballpark there. I feel like we're pretty well aligned on Cam. In 5 years, where is he? He could be an all-star, an all NBA player, a starter, bench guy, a G leaguer, an overseas player, or a podcaster.
I think he's a starter. Like yeah, I buy the upside. I think he can figure it out on defense, and it's just easy to envision him continuing this developmental curve. And I'd be remiss to say you said Max seems like a bench guy. Max has carved out a pretty good role for the Lakers as a second rounder, and I know Lakers fans were like very loud about wanting Darvin Ham to play Max Christie more over like the whatever trio of mid they had with Cam Reddish, and I can't even remember who else was in that perimeter group. But like, so maybe Max Christie will finally get the playing time that he deserves. Cam Christie could follow a similar developmental track, but better.
Yeah, story of Max Christie's life, according to his parents. He never gets what he deserves. I said starter as well. I'm not gonna lie to you. I have a little bit of an icky feeling in the head as we talk through this of like we're making this sound like it's such a no-brainer, and that scares me because he's not a
Mm-hmm.
lottery pick, he's not a guarantee. We feel very confident in him, but something about the Christie gene just should not speak this confidence to us. But I believe in his skill set. I do. I think he's a very gifted offensive player, and if he does end up in the right situation, I think he will be a starter in 5 years. NBA superlatives most likely to. Cam Christie is the most likely player in this draft class to what?
Get a Head and Shoulders endorsement. Flicking up with Pat Mahomes, showing off the perm, the curls, whatever you want to call it.
He's got to get
Tell
the
me you can't envision that.
Anthony Davis eyebrow thing done first.
You mean like the lines shaved into his eyebrows?
It's just like a lot going on up here for Cam.
So you're saying he needs to get it trimmed a little bit.
Yeah, I just want it to be a little cleaner. I think if we're doing
I
head and
think
shoulders, I wouldn't start up here. I'd start here.
Cam Christie has a unibrow.
Ish is what I'd say.
I I guess it's. I mean, I would definitely recommend him. Taking advantage of some like Sally Hansen wax. And then maybe getting a stylist to spice it up with the lines a little bit. That could go a long way.
Yeah, I mean, right now the biggest issue for Cam Christie is that if you Google Cam Christie, Google's first result spells his last name wrong. That's not a
Ooh.
good sign. Uh, I have Cam Christie is most likely to cut off his entire family, Aaron Rodgers style.
I
Uh,
almost went with that superlative. I literally was thinking pulling Aaron Rodgers, but I went with Head and Shoulders.
yeah, so I think it would be the best case scenario for Cam if he separated entirely from mommy and daddy. And that's a running joke that Carter has always had with the Christie family. They are not ever up past their bedtime. They are tucked in their Lightning McQueen bunk beds, and they love the crust cut off of their peanut butter and jellies. The only thing is, Cam has a little bit of a bad side, I think. Like Cam might have maybe dipped his toe out in the neighborhood streets on 11 p.m. on a weeknight here and there. Maybe, you see the lights go off in mom and dad's room, and maybe you're sneaking down the stairs a little bit. Maybe crack the window. I think Cam Christie, if this works, might not be welcomed back to family Christmas at some point. There might be a little jealousy involved. There might be a little like coattail riding involved. And ultimately, Cam might decide this isn't for me. I need to go be an NBA star. I don't need to be tucked in anymore.
Well said.
There you have it. If you want all the other versions of this very video, we have 74 more on the channel, 5 going up per day. Go watch them. Thank you for watching. The NBA draft is coming up, and I've got something awesome for you. We are partnering with the people at NBA 2K Lab. NBA 2K is the best video game on earth. The people at 2K Lab are making some awesome stuff to make that game even more fun, and they just launched their 2024 NBA Draft Simulator, where you can find the official Sleepers Media big board. We ranked our top 75 players in this draft class. Me, Carter, Brian Ralph, Riley Davis. We did it together, and it is featured on the 2K Lab NBA Draft Simulator. You can take control of any team in the draft, play GM with just one click, and see our entire rankings before these videos even come out. Check out the link in the description of this video to try out the draft sim for yourself, and you can find more mini games at nba2klab.com/NBA-mini-games.